technical breakdowns become opportunities for you to be able to see where there could be mechanical, structural, technical weak points. You know, we've all heard the stories of people that miss 13 times and they come back and get it on their 14th, and it's all, you know, aspirational and cool to hear those stories and all that. And that has its place. And I can also make the argument that, you know, if it's a lifter and it's a competitive lifter, they need to learn how to miss. There's a skill associated with learning how to miss. There's a skill associated with learning how to miss and how to come back and get a weight versus learning how to miss and just giving up on yourself. Now, to intentionally train for it, I have a problem with that. If bad days, things like that, those things happen, then that's fine. But failure on max effort stuff shouldn't be a desired outcome. Is it going to happen here and there? Yes. You know, use your considerations, use your brain, and decide what you want to do after the miss. Like, why did you miss? A lot of times these misses, and especially the technical breakdowns, become opportunities for you to be able to see where there could be mechanical, structural, technical weak points. And it's different when you're looking at max effort exercises because they're variants of main movements, but a lot of times you can see similarities amongst the variants that are going to show the same muscular weak points or ability to get the right leverage weak point, technical type of things that happen with heavier weights. So that's a benefit of the max effort stuff, is to be able to see what that is and to be able to ride that edge a little bit, to be able to see where it is, to actually push to purposely find it or purposely miss is creating a state that's going to be harder to recover from. So one important aspect that I overlooked is the recovery aspect. When it is a max effort exercise or max effort day, let's go with both. If it's a max effort exercise, your ability to recover from a weight that could be a PR for you for that movement, and you hit it pretty good, and maybe you got one more left, but you'd rather, it's cool. You're good with it. It did everything on your checklist of considerations it was supposed to do. It's going to be easier for you to recover from that come that next dynamic day, that max effort day, and you know what's coming down the pipe, than it is if you do another one and either miss or basically strain your balls off to the point that your head explodes and your testicles end up on the floor and your ball sack ends up under the reverse hyper. And if that is the case, then those considerations moving forward most likely are going to have to be altered. So the things that you do after that miss or after that strain on that movement, just for that training day, may have to cease or greatly be reduced to be able to allow for the recovery that's going to come for the next dynamic day or the next week. If it was hard enough, then recovery modalities may need to be introduced on the next day off, you know, contrast, steam, sauna, shit like that, anything active recovery, anything to be able to help recover because of that, to stay on track, you know, so it puts you in a compromised position because of that. So looking back at your considerations, is that compromised position a positive outcome or a negative outcome? Because if it's a positive outcome, that's cool. That's going to help you move towards where you want to go, where the ultimate goal is. If it's a negative one, and then you have to find ways to be able to circumvent and to recover so you can stay on point with what the rest of the program is, then it could potentially be a negative one. But there is an edge. There's definitely an edge there. So one of the questions earlier was kind of about recovery. You know, having the recovery modalities that can help, that's what the recovery modalities are for, is for when those slips happen, you know, then that's what they're for. If you don't want to put them in, if they're not required. You know, it's the goal of training is to be able to recover from session to session to session. The goal of a recovery modality is if you fuck that up and you have to somehow or another find a way to expedite and recover a little bit faster from session to session. The goal of recovery modality isn't to go in as a training means to be able to train at this higher level, because it doesn't work like that. Because eventually you're going to get to a point where you're going to have all those recovery modalities and then you're going to slip and then you have nothing to be able to help recover. And now it's basically, I don't want to say a complete overreaching state, but now you got an uphill climb that's going to be a motherfucker that wasn't necessary. What if you don't hit a PR on that? So what? Out of all the things that I talked about with the considerations, the PR was not in there. You know, so if it's all about breaking a PR, but it's not about the considerations that are going to make you stronger to be able to go where you want to go, to be as strong as you want to be, then your PRs don't mean a fucking thing. So it's are you achieving the outcome that you're looking for with that? Now, if there's a PR, great, perfect, even better. It's awesome. But I wouldn't get hung up on it, because we're dealing with higher percentages of 1 rep maxes, which you're already playing in a field of variance when you're dealing with percentages to begin with. 5%, 10% plus or minus is a miss or a smoke show, just based upon how you feel on a certain day. You know, so there's a lot of play there. You know, and if all that success is based upon that, and it's not based upon these other considerations that are going to push you forward, then you're tracking the wrong metrics. If you like this video and want to see more like it, click here.